My name is Janet.
And my name is Marcus. And together we are
AfriRopa.
AfriRopa, yes.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. You're all dressed in green. That's the color of hope and prosperity, isn't it?
Yes, and
Yeah.
a different hairstyle.
A different hairstyle too, yes. Yeah, no, the popping things really is the color there. Yeah. And I guess hope is a good is a good word here. Yeah. What I want to talk about in an extended sense, indeed, is hope. Is what I want to bring up today. I want to discuss a little bit are the NGOs in Kenya and what they are doing.
Oh.
Yeah. So just let's start the obvious one. Yeah. I did some research on it. Yeah. What is an NGO and how much do they contribute? And I guess that is important really to know so that you can appreciate
Yes.
what's behind it. Yeah. So NGO basically simply means non-governmental organization. So it's everything the government does not want to or cannot address, but they are working in the public sector. Yeah. So that's what it stands for. Yeah. But basically, what they do for Kenya and in many other countries too. Yeah. Is they do development work and they do funnel a lot of money mainly from the Western world, from the European countries and from the United States and also Canada. I guess also Japan is on board and some others too. To funnel funds to the African continent and to do development work there. Yeah, by its nature as non-governmental organizations, they run independent. Yeah, but still they are kind of controlled or registered by the government by what they are doing. Yeah.
Yes.
So still, just looking a little bit at the numbers so that you can really appreciate what it is. Yeah. So in last year, they contributed to the total GDP in Kenya about 175 billion shillings. Yeah, which equals to about 1.36 billion US dollars. Yeah, or about 1.15 billion euros. That is a lot of money.
That's a heavy contribution.
That is a lot of money.
A lot of
That
money.
is a lot of money. Yeah. So continuing on this one, there is about 11,000 registered NGOs in Kenya alone. 11,000.
So there are so many NGOs
11,000.
and we are walking around here not knowing.
Yeah. And they are employing directly about 40,000 people. Yeah.
40,000 people are employed under pay
Yeah.
by
Under
NGOs.
pay, yeah. So meaning that they are with their salaries, they also contribute to the tax revenue of the Kenyan government.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. And altogether, according to the to Kenya's public benefit organization registration authority, there is about 80,000 people working in the sector, one way or the other. I mean that is huge. That is huge. Yeah. I mean, just if you break it down, there was a lot of numbers. Yeah, but if you break it down, 2.5% of the overall GDP in Kenya. Whereas the biggest contributor in terms of the GDP is the agricultural sector, which is about 25%.
Yes, yeah.
So you can really see the contribution from the NGOs. That is massive. It's a lot.
It's massive.
It's a lot. It's one of the biggest contributors here in Kenya. So the question is, of course, is it really all good what they are doing, or is it what are they doing at all? So that's what I wanted to dive into a little
Before
bit
you
here.
dive into that, maybe I can say that there's one NGO that I know does a lot of good in this country, and its name is Red Cross.
The Red Cross.
Yes.
That's an obvious choice, yes.
Whenever we have disasters, like when the rains come and there are landslides, there are dams breaking whatever out. Okay, it doesn't happen always, but when it happened, they came in handy. The
Red Cross comes to save people, rescue,
give blankets, and it's I think it's the biggest organization, NGO organization in Kenya. It may not be the biggest, but it is one that I know. When you talk of NGOs, my mind just goes to Red Cross.
I mean, they are working worldwide, right? Worldwide. So it's not. I mean, they are in Germany too. They are big there, too. And it's an old organization too.
Very old one, well managed, I guess.
But so going from the big one really to the grassroots, and I mean, if you look at the number 11,000 altogether, so there must be a lot of grassroots operations too.
Yes.
And I mean, we are living not too far away from Kibera, which is one of the biggest slums on the African continent.
Yes.
And this is also the playground, you can really say playground for many, many NGOs, isn't it?
Yes.
So
that's where the people are.
So all the Wazungu there, they really step on their toes because they pour so much money in there, which to some extent I believe leads to some sort of entitlement within the population of Kibera and also amongst the NGOs, meaning that they think they control everything, on the side of the NGOs and on the side of the residents there. They feel like, well, I mean, the NGOs are taking care of us, and that is attracting more people from the countryside. Don't you think that this is to come to Kibera? Don't you think that this is true?
I think when you are needy, you look for help everywhere, and I have known kids that have been taken to school that live in Kibera, and they are being educated by these NGOs.
By these NGOs and
they have actually opened supported schools that are within Kibera that are educating these school-going kids. Yes. So I think it is not that they are enticing them to come from the villages to Kibera, but when I hear that my friend's child is in Kibera slums and is going to school, and I am in the village with a child whom I cannot even educate, even in the village, I will go there.
But isn't there, I mean, school is mandatory, right? So kids are supposed to go to school.
Yes, but school is not free in Kenya.
So you're basically saying that even though school is mandatory for kids to go, some cannot afford to pay the school fees.
Many cannot afford.
And then the kids, they never learn reading and doing basic maths, these just the basics. How is
what
that?
I'm saying is, you asked if these NGOs mushrooming in Kibera are they not encouraging people to come from the villages to come and live in Kibera? That's what you wanted to know.
Yes.
And I'm saying for the sake of their kids, those very poor or the poorest in the villages, if their children can be educated in Kibera, why not? Why not go where?
No, I mean, education is key. Education is key, absolutely.
Because the government has kind of, government of Kenya has made everything so difficult. Education is not free, yet there used to be free education. During my time, we even used to take free milk in school.
Elementary school should be free.
Which is not.
Yes, just to start with, to give everyone a chance. That is something that is very basic. This is a basic human right, I would say, is education.
And that is why the NGOs have come in handy, because they have realized that there are so many street kids that don't go to school because the parents cannot afford education. And they have come into Kibera slums and have built schools in there. They have paid school fees for these kids, so they are giving them an education.
Which is good. I mean, I totally agree to that one. Giving kids an education, that is basic.
Employing teachers.
It is, but on the other hand, you could also say, I mean, I'm trying to play the devil's advocate here, right? But you could argue that the government, the Kenyan government, got lazy because they say, well, you know what? If the NGOs are taking over that anyways and they provide for education and whatnot, then we can save money on that and we don't have to do it, or they don't have to take care of that. So and as a matter of fact, from a European perspective, this is one of the biggest points of critique, is that the NGOs or generally just funding relief organizations, whatever structure they have, basically does not enable people, but it keeps people in dependency. This is altogether the biggest discussion point we have in Europe about the work of relief organizations, help organizations. It is not about the corruption, which also goes often along with the work of NGOs, not to talk about potential schemes of money laundering and so on and so forth, but also that in a way it keeps people depending on the stream of funds and knowledge from the Western world, instead of really empowering them and enabling them to take a grip of their own, to take fate into their own hands and to move forward as such. So this is one of the biggest biggest points of critique in the work of NGOs. So do you think that's a valid point, or do you think that's no? Primarily it's a good thing that this money pours in.
I think it's a good thing that the money pours in.
So and generally you would consider the NGOs as a win for society?
I would consider that, and I would start my own NGO if able to. To also help people and and reach those that are unreached.
That's a strong statement. I
would love that.
I mean, in the end, of course, it really depends on what is the motivation of the people who are running these NGOs. If they are really motivated to help the people and to better society, or if they do it as a scheme to get funds.
The ones running the NGOs, I think you have to have this calling, because if you are that person who doesn't have a heart of caring, you will not even think about that other person who is less advantaged, or the disadvantaged person.
So you would be in the wrong place, and I mean, I agree, basically, I do agree, and sorry for being the devil's advocate on this one, I do agree, because simply it would be very cynical if you would say all the NGOs, they are driven by the greed to get the funds and use them for whatever purpose to enrich themselves.
Actually, we have seen what they have done. With institutions that they have started, establishments that they have started in the slums. We have seen them do things. So even if they could get these funds and maybe pay the salaries of their workers, or even benefit in a little way, I don't see any problem with that, as long as the bigger portion of money is going to the community.
And I do believe that this is strictly regulated by the Kenyan authorities too, isn't it?
And then the funding is regulated by the donors and the Kenya. I don't know whether the Kenya government comes in when it comes to the regulations.
So there are audits taking place.
Auditing has to take place.
That people know where the money, or that the government.
Otherwise, would they get another donor?
Exactly. Yes, of course.
Auditing takes place.
Yes, of course.
Accountability, and that is how they continue getting tomorrow's donors.
This is how they, without accountability and without a proper track record of what they have done. there is no funding. Yes,
there is no funding. And then what will happen to these organizations that had already been started if they don't continue funding them? If it was kids that were in school, they will fall out of school, which will be of no.
No, of course, there is no question about that, and we only touched now. We only scratched the surface right now, right? We were talking a little bit about education, but they do many more things than that. They help in agricultural development with new techniques, and they also do a lot of
computer literacy.
Yeah, things like that. So there's a lot more going on, and I think what we should do is we should come back to that topic in another part.
Yes, the next video, I guess.
The next video probably, or the video after. Let's go a little bit deeper on this one. I think it's worthwhile to talk about this, and we will get to this topic, definitely.
Yeah, sure. So check us out and subscribe to this channel if you haven't.
Yep. Yeah.